Hello everyone, my name is Subrameyer. I'm an international speaker, writer, and tech career coach. So I specifically help people in the tech industry find their dream job and become successful leaders in the industry. Today, I wanted to quickly share different strategies to find out what your dream career is. Because a lot of people have asked me this question, and I want to share my experiences going through the same journey to identify what my dream career should be. And these strategies are going to help you out right now to identify that for you as well. So let's start with this. Say you're using Google Maps. Without putting the destination address on Google Maps, you cannot complain that Google Maps is not working properly. And our careers are the same way. If you want to become a manager or a software developer or anything which you think is your dream career, without having focus, without having a vision of what those 3 or 4 careers look like, there's no point doing different things because you haven't even identified what your destination is. So here are 3 quick strategies to find out how you can grow in your career and identify the dream career as well. First thing is you have to do what is called the mind dump exercise. This is a simple exercise where you carve out 30 minutes of uninterrupted time, then take a paper and pen and put a column right in the middle of the page. On the left side, you're going to write down all the things you like to do, and on the right side, you're going to write down all the things you hate to do. Just doing this simple exercise, you're going to uncover so much about yourself in terms of what your strengths are, what kind of careers are best suited for you based on your strengths. And you can eliminate those kind of careers or jobs which kind of caters towards things you hate to do. So this is a good filtering system to identify those 3 or 4 dream careers which you ideally want to target. So that's the first step, mind dump exercise. The second step is now you've identified like say 4 or 5 career types which are really good for you and good for your career growth for your next level. Out of these 5, you have to first target the top 3 careers. So say for example, based on my mind dump exercise, I identify I could be a manager, I could be a scrum master, I could be a product manager, I could be a test architect, I could be a lead developer. Say those are the 5 job categories which I identify based on this whole exercise. I would pick the top 3, like say QA manager, product manager, and say test architect to start with. Okay, so now say you've identified these 3 job positions. That's going to be a dream career. The third step is you need to start identifying different goals to reach that career goal. Say for example, my goal was say to be a QA manager, and right now I'm a lead. What I'm going to do is start identifying different tasks which I need to do to get to become a QA manager. And you will come up with like a 3-month plan or a 6-month plan, whichever works for you. But then you need to have actionable steps you're taking to get to where you want to be. Let's go with this QA manager example. Say that is what I've identified, and right now I'm a testing lead. What I could do is I'll take a paper and pen again and start writing down different things I want to do, like taking leadership courses and then trying to get more opportunities to do lead kind of responsibilities in your team. That could be one of the items you identify. Another thing could be going to leadership conferences, and then another thing could be shadowing other managers or leaders who are already there in your company. You see what I'm saying? So there's so many different things you identify. So now say you've identified 10 things you want to do to get to the QA manager. Those are kind of your goals. And then you have to identify the tasks for each and every goal. Say for example, taking a leadership course was one of your goals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that into different tasks. So the first task could be identifying different leadership courses. The second task could be selecting a course. The third task could be carving out time every week to take the leadership course. And the fourth point could be to say give a talk about your learnings in a meetup or to your team in your company. And then for each of these four tasks, I put that in my calendar for each week. For example, say this week, I would say on Wednesday for 2 hours, I'm block my time so that no one schedules me over that particular time. And in the 2 hours, what I'm going to do is just identify leadership courses. Similarly, for the next week, I would block 1 to 2 hours and then just try to narrow down what leadership course you're taking. You see where I'm going with this? So it's all about identifying your ideal goals, then identifying the different tasks to reach those goals, and then putting those tasks on your calendar every week for a 3 or 6 month period so that you can make slow, gradual progression. So this is how you are going to identify what kind of career growth you want being a tester, and how to methodically and strategically approach your career growth as well. So hopefully you found this 3-step strategy for career growth really useful. Just to sum it up, it's doing the mind dump exercise, identifying different careers you want to move towards based on the mind dump, and then selecting the top 3 careers you want to go to, and then identifying different goals and tasks for each of the careers you've identified. And that's how you grow. And following this approach over the past 15 years, I started from an entry-level software tester, and right now I am running my own business. And if I hadn't gone through these approaches or used this in my real life, I would not have gotten to where I am today. So do that, and as the saying goes, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So hopefully you found this video really useful. If you have more questions, connect with me. I'm really active on LinkedIn. Make sure you follow me because I put content like this on a daily basis. And of course, always reach out to me on my email or on my website, which is rajsubra.com, RAJSUBRA.com. Thanks for listening and have a great day. I appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Lyles, and I'm an international speaker, author, IT director, and probably a few other things that I can mention. I have better backgrounds. I have a nice microphone, but today my focus is on the content of this talk and not the quality. But I wanted to reach out to you and wish you a wonderful year ahead and a happy new year for you. We've all been through some crazy world and life experiences for the last 2 years, but we've made it through it, and we're going to keep moving forward. Let me tell you a secret. This year, we are going to have challenges. Will they be as tough as the previous years? Maybe. Will we have to rise above them and work harder to overcome them? Probably. Can we make it through another year? Yes, we can. I want to tell you that while I've been in IT for over 28 years now, I recently become a certified John Maxwell coach, speaker, and trainer. And I spent this year experiencing how that I can add this certification to both my work and my personal life and make a difference. In November, I traveled to the Dominican Republic to be part of an initiative with 200 other coaches to train over 25,000 people in the Dominican Republic on transformation tables and how to focus on a life that centers around values and changing your world. Someday I'll share more about that with you later, but for today, I'm here to tell you about 5 simple things that you can do this year to begin to see change in your life. But let me first tell you, these are not my final 5. These are not the absolute 5, and these are not the top 5. If I shared with you all of the experiences that I've had and the things that I could do to improve and add value to your life, we'd be here for a very long time, because I've been blessed to see a whole lot of wonderful things in my life. These 5 are the fresh things at the top of my mind that I want to share with you today, and I hope you enjoy them. Number 1, be you. Don't be who you wish you could be. Don't be who someone else wishes you would be. Be yourself. Don't look back and find yourself living someone else's dream. You've done that long enough. It's time to be you. Number 2, don't tie yourself down to just setting goals. They're great, but life is not about setting 10 things to do and then checking them off the list. Life is about waking up every morning with a passion to do at least one thing that will make a difference in the world. This one thought took me decades to grasp and to realize, but I have gotten it so clearly now. Goals are just trophies that you'll put on a shelf and they will gather dust. John Maxwell says, once you've tasted significance, success will never satisfy you. I've had many successes in my life, many trophies on the shelf. I've done great things in my career. I've achieved many great opportunities with speaking all over the world, writing a book, reaching my milestones. But I realized that significance is found in helping others and making a difference in the world. That is when I found fulfillment in the things that I do every day. Number 3, what other people think of you is none of your business. Now, that's the name of a chapter in my book. And we become a society that is so wrapped up in social media that we worry about what everybody thinks about us every minute of the day. We change our plans, we give up on things, and we're afraid to be ourselves just because of what other people think about us or what other people are saying. You can live a happy life by doing what is right, living good values, and letting them waste their time talking about you. We don't have to go out of our way to make miserable people like us or talk good about us. At the end of the day, what matters is what you do. What did you do? And what difference did you make? Number 4, have a servant heart. This is one idea that I've heard for years, and it's one thing I have believed is a good thing to do, but not one I've always focused on. But it's so simple to have a servant heart and to help others. What would your workplace be like if you focused one day a week on doing at least one thing for someone that you're not required to help? Imagine if you helped that someone and they begin to return the favor, and then everyone at your company started doing it 2 days a week, and then 3 days a week, and then every day of the week. Imagine what your workplace would be like if you took the first step to help others. What would your family life be like if you were more helpful and supportive to your family? How would your community and your neighborhood change if you helped others and did something for someone that was simply not required of you to do? You can start a change that will affect so many other people around you. It's all up to you. And number 5, be intentional. In John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, the first law is the law of intentionality. And John states that growth does not happen accidentally. Think about the things you've done in your life that have been major successes. I'm sure you will agree that they didn't just accidentally happen or magically appear. We become successful and grow when we are intentional. I'm a John Maxwell certified coach, as I said earlier. I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I'm an author. I'm a director for my company. These things come to me by being intentional about achieving those milestones. I realized when I read John's book that I've been intentional for a long time, but I also realized that I have more opportunities to be intentional than I'm taking. And please don't get me wrong. You can't wake up today and say, I want to be an astronaut, and suddenly you're flying into outer space. Too many people think they can do things like that. But in contrast, way too many people think that because it takes too much time to do something, they start to consider themselves failures and they give up. Being intentional is not about speed. It's about knowing what you want to accomplish, and it's about focusing on getting there without being distracted. This is going to be your best year yet. I'm sure of it. I challenge you to take these 5 suggestions and apply them to your life. And please reach out to me and let's talk about how you can grow even more. I'd love to be part of your growth and success in life. Happy New Year, everyone.
Java, JavaScript, Selenium, Python, REST SEO, load runner, security testing tools. What should I learn? When do I need to learn? And how depth do I need to learn? These all things we are going to discuss. Hello everyone, this is NISHANT Gohel. Today we are going to discuss what should be a career path of a software tester and what are the mistakes tester make while learning. So first of all, we are going to discuss what are the common mistakes those testers make during the learning phase. So first mistake is learn everything or no foundation. Usually we are trying to learn as a fresher or with less experience. We don't know what to learn, from where to start, and we are not going to build our foundation. If someone is going to construct a building, they are going to make a concrete foundation. Based on top of that, they are going to build entire building. Similar way for a car, chassis is a concrete foundation of any car. Similar way, our skill set or our learning should have concrete foundation in terms of a software testing concept or any programming language. Based on that, we have to learn new skills and new technologies. So first mistake we are doing is we are not working towards our foundations. We are going to learn Java, we are going to learn Python, we are going to learn Selenium. For example, let's say I have 5 years of experience and I know how to automate web application using a Java and Selenium plus JavaScript and Selenium. 2 years I have worked on Java, 2 years I have worked on Selenium. Total I have 4 years of experience. And some company is going to hire a 4 to 5 years experience guy who should know Java plus Selenium. So am I falling to this category or not? That is a question, right? I have 4 years experience, but only 2 years out of 4 years, only 2 years I have worked on a Java plus Selenium. So should I consider 4 year experience or a 2 years experience? That's a big question, right? Next is unable to choose the right skills at right time. For example, let's say someone is having a 3 to 4 years experience. So for particular experience, what should they learn? They cannot learn at a 3 years experience. They cannot be an expert. They cannot learn everything. So based on experience or based on company expectations, we have to adapt new technologies and we have to learn new skills. Third one is an extreme schedule. Because of the extreme schedule, we are not able to fulfill our learning goals. Why it happens? Because at the end of the day, we are a human being. We have to attend family events. We have to go to friends' birthday. We have to enjoy weekend. We need to watch movies. So with all this, we are trying to manage learning as well. So we are not only going to manage work and life balance. We have to manage work, life and learning balance. So with all this, we can learn only 1 hour or 2 hours in a day, and likely for a weekend we can make a plan for a 4 to 8 hours per week and around 30 hours per month. If we can follow a proper routine for a learning, then in a short period of a time like a 6 months or 3 months, we can learn many things. So we should not fall into a extreme schedule. What happens if we are going to follow extreme schedule? Initially we can follow, but after some time we will get bored of that particular schedule and we will leave particular thing at one place, and because of that we cannot fulfill our learning goals. Now the question is, what should I learn? If I have 3 years experience, what company can expect from me? If I have 7 years of experience, what company can expect from me? So first we'll discuss 0 to 3 year experience bracket. So this 0 to 3 years is the initial level experience bracket. Company can expect from anyone who is fall into this category, like they have to deliver predefined task under a senior guidance. They have to work on a probably less complex task, and they are following a predefined path. For example, they have to automate 3 to 4 test cases. So senior member will help you, and they will identify, or they will tell you how he or she is going to automate based on his guidance, his or her guidance. They have to automate particular test cases at the initial level experience. For this, definitely they should have a initial level skills, like a initial level learning, basic learning of a Java, basic understanding of Selenium, or basic to moderate level. And at this stage, we have to try to learn from others. We have to try to learn from whatever we have. Let's say I'm going to automate one script and my task is done. I have automated 3 test cases. But apart from my task, I am trying to understand a framework. I am trying to understand the application architecture. All these things I can do. Now, next category is a 4 to 7 years experience bracket. What company can expect from these guys? So they should be able to deliver predefined tasks as an individual contributor, or they should be able to complete their task without taking help from others. Probably their work should be more complex compared to the 0 to 3 years testers, and they should be able to create their own path. For example, manager is trying to assign some work. They should be able to solve small problem with their experience and knowledge. For this, definitely they should have a concrete knowledge of any programming language, or any tools or technologies, or any libraries they are going to work on, or software testing concept. So definitely for this experience, if I'm going to watch a testing tutorials and I have to complete complex tasks, I cannot do. For that, I should have a learning experience, I should have working experience, and I should have experience that I learned from my mistakes. This guy should have sound understanding and problem solving abilities. Now let's discuss 7+ years experience bracket. For this, testers should be able to work on a problem statement. For example, company has a product and they want to create a end-to-end automation strategy or end-to-end testing strategy for particular product. So testers should be able to do that. They should be able to provide an end-to-end solution of any product. They should be manage entire team. They should be able to make a concrete decision. How many testers needed for a particular activity, how much time it is going to take. They should be able to do all these things. For this, they should have a concrete understanding of any technology, tools, and they should have a vast experience. So if we are following this path, definitely we will reach at a fruitful position. But the thing is, if we are going here and there, 2 years working on a Java, 2 years working on a Python, 2 years working on a performance testing, we are not going to reach anywhere. We will stuck at some point. So important thing is, whatever we are going to learn, it should be aligned with our goals and aligned with our skills. I hope this will be useful for you, and have a great year ahead. Thank you so much.
Hello and welcome to 2022, I think we are at this point. I'd like to thank Jayesh for the invitation to talk to you a little bit about best practices and things I find really, really useful. I've been in the testing career for about 25 years, and over the last 10 years, I've been doing more and more test manager type roles. And I really want to think and talk to you about critical things I think about when I think about the word test strategy. So back in 2012, very keen to prove myself as a a test leader, I used to think that test strategy was pretty much a lonely role. Working mainly on waterfall projects, someone would put together a whole heap of requirements, and I'd kind of grab them away and I'd disappear from the team for maybe a week or two. And I would put together this immaculate test strategy that reflected what a thought leader I thought I was within testing, that would be bulletproof and would cover everything that we needed to do. When you fast forward 10 years to how I approach test strategy today, it's a completely different approach. It's something I've learned very much from moving away from waterfall to agile and a lot of the discussions that we have. I don't think a strategy as a kind of hermit, wise man on a hill that goes away and goes, "Oh, you've come to me for your test strategy advice. Let me give you some young advice," Frodo type, Gandalf type things. No, to me, strategy, like I say, it's a conversation. It's a conversation between the whole team. Yes, as a test manager, test leader, it's my responsibility to take initiative and to lead things and to facilitate that conversation. But it's not my exclusive providence to come up with all the test ideas. So, and occasionally I've been in interviews and they've asked me this kind of thing of how would you handle we got a new product, how would you handle putting together a test strategy? And I'll be very blunt and I'll say, oh, here's how I'd start things off, because I'd take the ideas and I'd go away and I'd think about things and I'd come up with the best ideas that I have and put them on paper. And what I've learned the hard way, again from trying to be the hermit, is that's a great starting position. But what it isn't, it's not a very thorough place to be. And by having conversations outside of your expertise within the larger business and within the larger team, it allows you to find little gaps in your first approach, things you didn't think of. You put a product in front of testers, they always have a few intuitive ideas. Oh, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do that, and that's really great. Testers, know what they've done before and they apply it to it and they work with that. But going beyond that, if you've ever seen areas about people's competence, there's what we know and there's what we don't know, and kind of delving into the areas of, well, we've got a solid test strategy on the things that we know. How do we delve into the things that we don't know? And that really involves having conversations outside just the testing expertise. Now, within an agile framework, I've got more and more used to that, where we have a story and then we have an elaboration session, and then we talk as business people and developers and testers, and we knit together, different ways to look at the things that we're going to change. I'm a real fan. At the minute, I'm putting together a book called The Scrum Tester, a survival guide. And I keep coming again and again to George Dinwiddie's Three Amigos model of evaluating a story and elaborating a story. And he spoke about, you don't just want to get a room full of testers to look at a feature and or a story or a requirement, because they'll only come up with tester type things. So your typical heuristics of, hey, there's a field here. What if we put a number in? What if we put text in? What if we put special characters in? What if we put something into, like, very much the same. It's good, it's solid stuff, but it doesn't explore it as deep as it can by having a few more conversations. So if you have a mix of, according to George Dinwiddie, if you have a mix of people that represent business, people that represent development, people that represent testing, you have a deeper conversation about the things that you need to cover. So, for an example, imagine, if you would, an agile calculator, and this is actually something that's going to be in the book. So spoilers if you ever think of getting it. So you're developing a calculator, but you're doing it through an agile method. So you're not creating a finished product. You're saying, okay, we're going to build a calculator, and the first thing it's going to do is addition. Yep. And then we're going to start adding arithmetic features to it, one story at a time. So along comes a new feature called subtraction. So our next story is, as a mathematics user, I want to be able to subtract numbers so that I can find the answer. Cool. So you go away and you come up with different scenarios for that, adding integers to integers, decimals to decimals, integers to decimals, positive numbers to negative numbers to positive numbers, all that kind of thing. So you just, like, as a test, you go, oh, these are really fantastic things. Just keep coming up with scenarios like that. Great, I've got a suite of tests. And then you're having a conversation with a developer in the room, and the developer goes, yeah, well, when we're going to be doing the subtraction feature, we're going to overhaul a little bit a lot of what we did for addition. Yeah, so we're going to go into a lot of the same core functions that we use for addition, and they're going to get a revamp. So we can handle subtraction and division in a similar way. Oh, so go, well, that makes sense. So along as all these scenarios about testing subtraction, we probably want to revisit a little bit what it did in the addition. Now, hopefully, you'd already have automated tests for this, but it just say from that, oh, well, that feature probably needs a little bit more investigation. Likewise, one of my favorites, you're looking at a page and you're trying to work out a mobile phone test strategy, and you're going, oh yeah, you can start throwing things out there. We need a Samsung, we need an Apple, we need this Apple, we need an iPad, we need a tablet. And you start having this conversation, more and more different versions and flavors. Particularly in Android, it's flavors because everything's based on sweets. Are we past Jelly Bean at this point? Lollipop? Who knows what? And the business owner will say, well, yeah, I know there's all these different things, but we're just going to start focusing on the latest Apple going forward. It's a new product. We'll start on the latest version of Apple, and we'll start on the latest version of Android. And I'm not too concerned about older versions of mobile phones, because we see this, it's going to take us a year till we get all the features that we want, so everything will have moved on. So yeah, not a big difference, not a big thing to cover. So that stops you from kind of getting through the whole thing of, we're going to do this, we're going to test more of this, and it simplifies a lot what you're going to do. So again, that input is really useful of coming up with a robust approach to testing that's not going to take you forever to do, but kind of everyone has buy-in on the things that you're going to do. And that means that quality is basically an agreed quantity between the whole team, the business, development, and testing, and say, okay, we came up with this approach, we balanced different people's opinions on it, and this is the approach that we've got going forward. It's almost like in Goldilocks territory. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right. And that, to me, that conversation, that agreement, that facilitation, that common understanding is how we build test strategies very much in the 21st century, but for the 2020s. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for having me. Have a great 2022. Let's hope all our problems lie behind us at this point. And Happy New Year.